It is the year 5016 of the Union Era, and the galaxy is home to trillions. At the core of humanity's territory, there is a golden age, but outside of this newly won utopia, the revolutionary project continues. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frozen Rain, a Lancer campaign here on Neon Lights Roleplay. So before we jump into this, I do have to say that Lancer is at its core a story about humanity and fighting back the evils of the old ages. And so these evils still, they need to exist in order to be confronted. Players have a direct line to me, but you, the audience, unfortunately, do not have that luxury. So if you are experiencing difficulties, the Savage 21st is capable and ready of providing exfil to the nearest blink gate at the simplest click of a button. Take some time, refresh, full repair, and get back to us as soon as you can. There is still a battle to be won. All the important things need to be set out of the way. My name is TurkAccented, and while I am at the helm of this group, I am not alone at the wheel. The group of industrious storytellers here to entertain you in the mud and blood of Sparr. Well, I guess it's more ice, mud, and blood. But they're still here. They're really cool. I, could honestly do the rhyme. Yeah, there's a lot of queer. But I'm gonna let them tell you more about that. Starting with Foxy.
Yeah, can confirm I am in fact pretty queer. What's up, folks? It's Foxy, Big Foxy, your favorite fox, Philly's finest. And today, I am so very happy to reprise my role as the. Oh God, I don't have an adjective for him. I'm ragey, and I'm kind of going through some things right now. But I guess we're gonna resolve that pretty soon. So whatever. Good to see you all, though. Take it away, Vermin.
What's up, everybody? I am the Legendary Vermin. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter. Tonight, I am so happy to be the bubbly, charming, mech, industrious creature that is Symbiosis Ads, aka Arsenic, working with her giant mech friend, Old Lace. I think that's all I got for now. Well, come back to it. Meg, go.
It's over to me, the also high-key, very queer Meg Mysterio.
Shit, I'm gay too. Wait, hold
on. Even more ambiguous than my gender is Elena Victorious, who I will be playing tonight. Our wonderful, not that bitchy EXO and her mech legacy. Reggie's looking for all that audacity.
Nah, I'm just looking for who you're lying to. That's all. Trying to figure that one out. I couldn't find him. That's cool. You got it.
Everyone knows EXO just stands for Kiss and Hugs. So, with that, why don't would anyone like to give a quick recap of where we last left our industrious group of pilots?
I feel
And
like it is
yeah.
only thematic that it's Sim, as the most important plot relevant moment happened with Sim, and so I feel like Sim should be the one to tell us what happened.
Shit. Okay. So, whoa! Hey, thanks, Mr. Saito. You're fantastic as always.
Mwah.
Just in time for our recap of last time. So, we were on Sparr. The three people who had started the campaign, that was, of course, Leon, Reiji, and Sim, were in the middle of the snowy wastes, and along comes another pilot. That is, of course, Elena. Elena meets and greets with the rest of the group. We keep tracking towards where meets and greets and nearly comes to blows with the rest of the group, specifically Reiji.
Much better.
Yeah. And then we cruise on further into the mountains and the glaciers, where we find a bunch of mechs that seem to have, like, self-destroyed. They had punched themselves, they had shot lasers at one another, and the pilots didn't seem to be in control of that. As we walked our way through these mechs towards a distress signal, the mechs started coming back to life. It was terrifying. Also, something very mysterious started to take over our mechs in a similar fashion. That was scary. It fully took over Virtue, and Old Lace had to pin him down as Dawn and Legacy made their way towards the distress signal that we'd been sent out to originally pick up. Once that was done, we all cruised back to Yin.
Yes.
And back at Yin, we kind of made camp. And all of a sudden, as we got out of our mechs, after a quick debrief, a voice started speaking to Sim over the radio from her not CompCon, NHP now, who she referred to as Mimi or Mimir, not Valkyrie, which is what she had called it all the way up until that point. That was a very long recap. I'm too long speaking.
It was
Anyway,
comprehensive and needed.
You didn't miss a
This
single
is-
thing.
It has been some time. So, with that said, why don't we jump back into Sparr as you all followed in on the with a massive storm at your tails, and even getting onto down into the pocket that is Yin. It's still very, very cold. You made your way back to the Wilderness Rescue Station to return your newly found and recovered friend Annette Aboud Freyerson. And also briefly met Yilva, the head of the Wilderness Rescue Team, who mentioned they might have more work for you going forward, seeing as, you know, she had lost most of her team up in the mountains on that last expedition. But for the moment, you have some things to check in. I believe some of you went to go get drinks. Some of you had to go have a chat with some old friends. But question is now, you're getting all indications. Basically, let's assume it's a new day. You've just all gotten a chance to rest and recoup, find some injuries, whatever scrapes or bruises or light frostbite you've gotten on any extremities has been treated to a beginning degree. And now you just you wake up. All local reports are indicating this blizzard is a complete whiteout. It is not recommended or permissible at the moment for any teams to be going beyond city limits outside of the pocket. And it's predicted it will be about a week. Yes, you heard me right, folks. A week.
A week's worth of rest, huh? Can't complain for that.
I think where Sim starts with that is she's been checking in on her companion Mimi a lot, and specifically has been encouraging folks like, "Hey, we brought some scrap back from this last mission. We should see if we can, melt that down and print ourselves any new upgrades." So she spent a lot of time in the hangar. She's practically been sleeping in old lace most of the time.
I'd say, yeah, you were able to recover Annette's ruined mech. Nothing too fancy with the parts there, pretty standard Sparr. Kind of almost honestly an Atlas style mech, how they're usually used to take on Megafauna. But definitely some parts. But you were promised that Administrator Isaac would help you reach out to any larger corpos and provide you a sufficient stipend to make some contacts. And as a reminder, anyone who doesn't already have a residency, or anyone besides Reiji, you were given the hangar / base here to kind of live and work out of. It's has all the basics comforts, but nothing really extravagant.
Assuming I have a stable residence on this planet. Ha, that's funny.
You had an apartment or a room to go back to or that one time or another?
Yeah, haven't been back there in... Shit, what year is it?
It is the year 5016 of the Union era.
No, he's gonna go on.
Oh no, here we go!
We don't need the intro again.
Roll the credits!
No, but either way, you all have access to somewhere to stay. You have your buddy Phoenix and flying to Half Nelson. He's around, but seems to be, ferrying some communications and other things around the ship. Usually bringing down medical supplies or other things that the Savage 21st can trade. Help digiprint things and then bring them down.
I feel like there was probably a communicated assumption, probably via whatever accounts for text messaging here in this standard universe.
The OmniNet.
Yeah, the OmniNet. Just to hey, whenever the time comes that we should all meet up and talk about the things that have happened, just give me a ring. Till then, don't bother me. And pursuant to that, I think Reiji can most likely be found in the hangar. If he's not working on Virtue, he's probably being worked on, and we're gonna leave that one there for Twitch TOS, because it was a really hard mission, and frankly, he is trying his best to not think about it and the possibility that God got inside my mech, because that happened, and I don't really know what that means just yet. I want to find my friend and ask her about that, but she's got bigger fish to fry, it turns out. So,
I mean, look, hun. My office doors are always open.
Well, fair enough. I suppose that's probably a thing we'll have to deal with at some point. Well, in that case, I guess, yeah, go for it, please.
I was gonna say, if we want to jump towards that, debriefing the last mission type thing,
yeah.
I imagine framing the lead into that as you get a message from Sim that says, "Reiji, come to the main hangar. We're having waffles." Oh, also Elena says that we have to debrief on a separate message. The first message has is loading, and there's suddenly a picture of Sim pointing at a big stack of waffles.
Well, I do enjoy a solid stack of waffles, and so while I originally would probably reply, "Give me 30 minutes," yeah, no, I'll make my way early. Why not? I'll probably hop out of whatever private quarters I have. I'm not putting a shirt on. None of you are worth that. And yeah, I'll just shamble my way groggily down towards the main hangar area and hopefully begin to smell waffles and not someone's attitude.
You might get a whiff of both.
Unfortunate.
And assumedly under the allure of a large stack of waffles, though, I personally prefer short stacks. I have to ask, are you guys inviting the anyone from admin or Sparr research, or is this gonna be internal? Totally fine if it is. Just want to know who's if anyone's had a thing out, because otherwise people will be in their respective offices.
I
They're
say,
still working.
I would say if we want to have a personal debrief first, that's cool. But I definitely think we should probably at least have put out the call to minimum Isaac and Annette. Isaac because he knows stuff that's around, so maybe he can help us with whatever we need to get or whatever we need to know. Annette because she directly saw whatever the hell happened, and so it would probably be best to talk to her about the thing that happened. I say in a much more ragey-like manner. But yeah, so I feel like that's probably the setup. Is like we can talk on our own if we need to, but otherwise we should probably put the call to let them meet us here at some point.
I'd also like to put out if we're doing a team debriefing, there's probably just an open call line with Captain Inahara,
That
even
makes
if he's
sense.
on the ship,
That makes the most sense.
because we have
Open
to
or
report.
recording to send to him. Whatever's more appropriate.
Communications would be a little spotty. The Savage 21st
We'll do
is in Icarus drop distance, which isn't too bad, but it will be like a scratchy Zoom call, and obviously you can record it. Yeah.
If I stick some wires on V's fingers, have it stand a certain way, we might get a bit of signal.
Oh, I do enjoy standing at attention.
See, big guy's got it.
Perhaps we could place some modifications upon the lance and raise it up high, and then we might summon whatever magics.
Reggie hops on like up to the knee area, grabs on, just give me a peace sign, big guy. And then I'll just shamble his way up and rip out a random wire in a hand circuit I can probably replace later, straighten it out for a bit, stick that on one finger and then the other.
Oh.
Are we?
Oh no!
Really?
Oh, don't do that! No, not that one.
No, it's fine. I can fix it. It's cool. That was
You watch is just like the
That
finger
warranty.
you
Don't do it.
You pull it from, just like it is unable to like keep its it like whatever motors in the knuckle area or the equivalent thing just like is unable to be continued power, and just the finger falls.
I thought I got that. I'm gonna
That
kick it
might
twice.
be problematic later.
Nah, I gotta hold on. Kick it twice. It's just like there it is. Perfect. Not bad.
Why don't you make me an engineering check just for
Abso-fucking-lutely. Remind me what skill that uses.
engineering?
Oh, that's a skill that I have skills in, right? Yeah.
With a relevant tag.
Cool.
But primary, if you're gonna be like ripping stuff off.
Oh,
your
I can.
Mac,
I'll use my custom tag. Make some shit work.
Sure.
Because
apply that in engineering.
Rather
just roll that tag.
Cool.
D20 with that tag.
That is a 16 plus my 4 for that tag at this point.
All right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Assuming against any proper understanding of how that works, you have created a kind of signal extension. It's not going to be really great as a weapon to keep it on there, but for the moment, you kind of like can have him stand outside and hopefully not freeze.
Because Reiji is an orc.
Sim is like hollering at Reiji to come sit down. People are here. People are here. There's little sausages.
I'll come for the sausages specifically.
I assume if
Sim is sitting behind a waffle with like a stack of like, there's like banana type stuff and ice cream and like, it is sweets top to bottom.
So,
Sim, you are aware we're eating breakfast, right?
I like what I like.
She needs energy, Reiji says
You're
as he
sugar
comes down.
loading first thing in the morning. That is not good for you.
Nah, energy's important for a pilot, he says and walks down. He swipes a part of banana, uses that to scoop some ice cream, bites half of it, and then pushes the other half into Sim's mouth.
It's just like a happy. In the anime, it's just like chibi Sim just being like,
Do love me a chibi Sim moment.
Why do I find myself not shocked that the shirtless man in the middle of an ice ball agrees with that sentiment?
Oh, you're fucking freezing, by the way. If you step anywhere, if once that door opens,
Nah,
it is like literally.
think I never just let the breeze pass my nips sometimes in the morning?
I think you're like I will respect your choice to portray yourself as a hard individual, but I will tell you internally, you're fucking cold.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen. That's the thing. I can play it off like every other man does when their girlfriend asks for their hoodie, and you're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Take mine. I'll be cool. It's not a problem. And internally, you're like, oh my god, I've found the 10th level of hell. It's actually cold, believe it or not.
As as a note, a continued exposure will probably I'll need a grit roll just to maintain that going
Yeah,
on.
no, it's all good. I'll have V just put a hand on the building and then stick his hand up, and then we can close the door, so it should still be able to maintain a decent.
Yeah,
size,
we could run cable. It's
Yeah.
whatever situation it is, we
Yeah,
can close the doors.
Yeah, it's all good. We can get those closed.
As you're about to
Over radio, Sim will be like, "Don't forget to do squats and wiggles, otherwise your joints will freeze."
Oh, naturally, Lady Sim.
He loves those, squats and wiggles.
Indeed. Keeps the servos juiced.
I gotta turn my paracom off sometimes. Jeez. Anyway, enough bullshitting. He says, stuffing like literally pizza, folding a waffle, and just enough bullshitting. What's up?
What's up is that this is simply just a debriefing. Are you used to those?
Let's assume I'm not, for the sake of argument.
Shocked.
I read that. I 100% read that as Reichi just being an ass.
Oh, absolutely no fucking idea what a debrief is, actually. But to admit that would be to lose.
So
How?
have you started hailing Teams in a Heart? I have a witty comment I'd like to add.
Might as well.
Yes.
I need a voice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. It'll come online. I'm shocked. I thought you of all people would be used to getting your briefs taken off.
Okay, that's just hurtful, Cap. Come on now. You don't even know me like that, boss.
I don't, but I've read your file.
That's on my file?
Sorry.
Anyway, I hope your accommodations have been somewhat to your liking. I understand it's not exactly the finest China, but well, it's what we can afford. It's what they were willing to give us.
I've slept in worse.
Well, it's just that. I'm sure you can, if you continue playing nice to the locals, someone will hopefully set you up with something better.
Wouldn't that be the dream?
It certainly would. In the meantime, I'm interrupting your XO's report, please.
So, for those of us who haven't attended debriefings, we'll just start from the top. I still have yet to get a completely clear picture on what happened to the three of you when you first landed. I came across the wreckage, and that was it. I have Legacy going over scans now, but
There's like a little ping on your whatever kind of portable terminal you have for the Omninet, and Sim has sent you like analyzed data from old lace to your personal terminal. Mimi and I worked through the data a few nights ago. So it was an ambush of some kind. We're pretty sure that they were just unaffiliated raiders, pirates. It seemed very different than what we encountered at the top of the glacier.
Yeah, encounter's a word to use. You want to talk more about that, by the way? I don't know a whole lot about AIs, but what the fuck was that? Whatever. Techno Shaman Babble isn't the thing I listen to. I've only heard about Yenival in stories, so anybody got a rundown for me?
I Well, I think Sim had spoken a little bit to some locals about like yin. I think we established that in previous episodes.
Yes, you are familiar, and once I hit the page here, I can absolutely recap what you would know and what you could reflect to the rest of the group, if you'd like, or you
Yeah.
can recall. Okay, so uh, Sparr was colonized a long time ago by the Yggdrasil. This is in the first initial golden age, like, the first initial expansion of humanity. An old ship that they couldn't control the descent into, and a bunch of colonists crash landed here. The Yggdrasil, for a long time, made a pocket. People started to try to go out. Sparr is a desolate ice hole. Tough people, tough situations make tough people. That is till SecCom comes rolling around and tries to send a diplomatic mission out to go and say, "Hey, you're under our protection now." All the fun things that SecCom does. Unfortunately, that ship also crashes and lands, and the people of Sparr begin attacking anyone on the crew and taking apart the ship. The NHP on board, named Prudent Interval, in a last minute panic, uh, appeared to the raiders and scavengers after a quick scan of the culture's records and histories as the goddess Unival, and became it. They brought her casket back and started worshiping her as a goddess until she believed it herself. Then Secom came back. Unival didn't take kindly to anyone encroaching on her people's space. There is a extended guerrilla warfare campaign where Secom basically did what Secom does, used extremely egregious force to solve any and all diplomatic issues, and destroyed the goddess. That's the long and short of it. There's a belief that Unival will once again return and lead the people, and the prayers you were hearing were absolutely to Unival.
Right. Cool. I
I think
also
the only thing that Sim adds on top of that is she says an NHP that was in Cascade that was not reset and left to develop for that long almost certainly made copies of itself. I would be shocked if every single copy of Yenival was erased.
So you think that there are more variants elsewhere on Sparr?
It's a possibility, and Ahara will chime in, but completely and perfectly copying an entire NHP into a clone of itself is a process that takes time and incredibly advanced technology. Something that, well, I don't mean to throw any mud at the planet you're on, but they didn't really have here. If anything, you might be dealing with CompCon, onboard unit, some kind of advanced system that Unival was able to scrape together. Sorry. We're calling her Unival.
seems like
Anyway.
that's the case. I mean,
Anyway, it's possible that there are copies, but I doubt they would reach NHP levels. That would take a lot of work. Possible, though. Good to keep an eye out for it.
It's possible to fragment an NHP, and as I understood it, there were fragments of Yenival all over the planet, taken to various temples. So, whatever we encountered had enough power in it to broadcast a virus to us without being able to detect where it was coming from and take over our systems. I encountered it when I was trying to fix Virtue. It was huge.
if a fragment that tough well, a fragment that tough did get inside one of our systems. What do you think it got?
I would love Turk to have taken time over like a day or so to review specifically Virtue's logs. Can I do like a retroactive hack and fix / no secrets?
And
Yeah.
yeah, and Sim is the only person Reggie would actually let look at the entirety of Virtue's logs.
choose
It'd be a gather information rather, and I'd be rolling it up +4.
Yeah, roll gather info.
Okay. That's a 14.
Okay, so there's a tag on most systems that are accessed. You open a file, it shows last open. We have that even today. That's very useful. Of course, it's probably couched in some super paracausal weird terms here, but it looks like in that instance, Virtue was overrun, or rather taken over. That everything was accessed. This was a full, complete mech takeover.
Okay. I have to pick one of two. You leave clear evidence of your rummaging, or you have to dispatch someone along the way or implicate someone innocent.
Oh, this could have just been you don't have to do a downtime activity. It could just be apply tag. So totally fine if we don't want to do the entire downtime. Just hack / would should work. Great.
Okay. I kind of like the consequence though. Can I throw the
Sure,
consequence out anyway?
absolutely. If you
Put
want
the
to,
gun. Let players put their guns in front of their own heads.
okay.
Yeah, this is something for you to play with too. When I was looking through Virtue's logs, I realized too late that the connection was still open. Whatever was there stayed there on an open source. It couldn't access the whole of anything anymore. It couldn't take control back. And I cut it out, but it knows that we know how it accesses your systems. It took everything. Every data bank was compromised in the process. And given how long that connection was open, they probably know everything about Virtue's combat profile and any recorded data you had on there.
It's the only place I keep my personal data.
I'm sorry, Reggie.
Doesn't matter. We find the fragments, we knock them off. Problem solved, right?
Yeah.
Again,
If the objective is to pursue them.
if we're certain that all of the fragments weren't destroyed, I don't have the files on me right now. Might be best to check in with the administrator on planet for records of SecCom's activity. He's most likely to have direct access to it. You can find out which ones they squashed and which bugs might still be living. SecCom doesn't like leaving loose ends, from what I understood. And they solve those loose ends with orbital bombardments and vast deployments of entirely too much manpower.
Yeah. Tyrants didn't have the same MO. Also, can I take a real quick aside if you don't mind? This is a small question for our GM as someone who's probably read the book a lot more than me. Is there some equivalent that a player could roll to say, I don't know, hear a whisper?
You could roll a d20 to do just about anything. It's just about it matters if you have relevant tags depending on the situation.
Cool. Meg, can I ask you to do one of those?
Sure.
And I don't, Jack, you can pick an appropriate number. I don't really care. It's not important to me.
Oh, usually over a 10.
Cool.
But if this is going to be extra quiet, we can if you're going to be extra quiet, let's add a difficulty onto it.
Sure.
But feel free to add a tag on if there's anything relevant that you have.
Do you think spot would apply here?
So, in the general sense, the
Or
way
is
they
that more
understand,
visual?
so spot I think has enough, because there's not really like a listen in, I believe, tag. So spot's a pretty good.
I think I would argue spot also applies here.
Like
I'd be more the fine with spot applying here. No
absolutely
question.
by spot. Spot
Then
away.
that would bring it to a 12.
12 is
All
over
right.
10. Which
When you make the comment, if the mission is to, like, if the plan is to go after them, or like if the goal is to go after them, you can definitely hear a solid grumbled whisper of the plan is to keep her safe. That's it. Have fun.
So Elena will kind of glance Reggie's way and study him for a second, but won't say much on the comment. We're in the middle of a debriefing.
Yeah, important things are happening.
So you went to hit the rescue and ran into some troubles with an unhinged NHP and unmanned mechs, which is a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
Unmanned mechs that managed to destroy the manned ones and then assimilate them into their ranks.
Oh,
It
God.
was a veritable graveyard.
It looked like a combination of mechs being taken over in the way that Virtue was, basically killing their pilots by moving in ways that they could not survive, and actual combat taking out the more electrically hardened units. Civilians need to stay away from that glacier. And
Yep.
honestly, if we can broadcast it on frequencies that, emergency frequencies as well for anybody who is out there right now, it's too dangerous.
We'll do what we can. Broadband from even this height is going to be garbled up by that storm, but I imagine there's communication systems on in Yin rather, for to reach outward expeditions and other pockets. Might be best to check in either with the rescue station or hell, even the elders on land there. I'm sure they have their own ways of handling things. We'll do what we can, of course. But we have to be careful not to overstep our bounds here. Can't go dropping off an expedition in the middle of a snowstorm.
Noted.
Does lead to another point, though. Whether the plan is to go find these fragments or not, we're going to be dealing with those cultists again. Unival has followers, believe it or not, and whether it's the fragment or people who believe in it, we're going to deal with those same problems. We need bigger gear.
I agree. I always think my pallets are under-equipped, but unfortunately, the best Union can do is slowly notch away at the hold the Big Four have. I've been in some talks with Administrator Isaac. He should be on his way over. Of course, he'd be happy to make any introductions to the wonderful consumerist wonderland that you might need in your further ongoing campaign to destroy the baddies.
Yeah, been having some thoughts on that. You guys feeling upgrades?
Am I ever
I'm fine.
not feeling upgrades?
Point conceded.
So, is there anything else you need to discuss at this time with the crew of the Savage 21st?
I recognize from this location doing a direct long-range broadcast would be a problematic. Would we be able to piggyback off of the 21st?
We could do what we can. don't know what you expect us to find. Our initial scans of the planet didn't even pick up the graveyard, as you might have called it.
If you give me some time, I
Oh
can go
no,
talk to some ratings. I got this.
I'm talking about making outbound calls off-world.
Of course. I imagine they have some Omninet extensions even on Sparr, but I'd be happy to help boost any signal you want directly if you need something discreet. I ask because we're gonna have to take a quick jaunt away from you for a moment. Only a few cycles. Gotta deploy another team.
Noted. What's your time of departure?
Well, I'd say we've got a few hours to get everything prepped and loaded, and well, then we're heading off to a much nicer climate, jungle planet, from what I understand. Haven't fully read the file. I'll be briefing with the pilots.
Can't make snowmen in the jungle.
No.
Or have
but-
Coco. This is
Also-
under her breath.
You're so fucking cute. I love her so much.
Sim must be protected at all costs.
All costs,
Um,
no matter what.
Yes, well, you know, they've got their own issues, and illegal bioweapons facilities don't blow themselves up, so.
Delightful.
Indeed.
If need be,
I'm
I
having
will
them to
contact
pack their
you.
bug spray.
I'll be sure to mention it. Well,
I think this is probably a good opportunity for us to pull in a net
Mm-hmm.
for narrative convenience.
yeah, you'll start hearing
Net
like a
administrator, maybe.
Yeah.
V, crack it.
I was just about to announce we have a guest. I dare say we have two. And it'll start cracking. Well, that's my cue to get out of your hair. Over and out, pilots.
Be safe out there.
Stay
Captain.
safe.
I'm run
I'd
out,
s-
Kevin.
I'd say stay frosty, but you're doing that fine already by the looks of things. In a hurry.
Loosen your shoulders, Captain.
Never.
I,
And links.
I want to punch that guy so bad.
Oh, he's fun. Anyway.
Oh, that was out
The-
loud. I was in character. I'm just saying.
I know.
Captain Inahara?
Yeah,
Why?
it's a fucking tool.
I think you just have a problem with authority.
Oh yeah, what's next? Freud, you got anything for me?
The fuck is Freud?
Ooh.
Listen,
Well, we
we
can talk about her.
get some really old books on that. One more time.
We have a
Yeah, right?
debriefing to go through.
You'll hear the door open up as this is this tense moment, and Administrator Isaac and Annette will walk in, and just he'll kind of like he himself is bundled up like kind of like a 1950s like winter Christmas special singer. You know, he's got the coat and the long scarf that's covering his face, and he's coming in. Got the puffy hat. With a little like union administrative department logo on it. But he's got this big carafe that seems to be steaming with its own like attached fire. Oh, I hope this isn't a bad time. I brought cocoa though.
Yes.
Doesn't Coco just make everything better?
I sure hope it does. It seems to have won me a few friends here. For a quick reminder, this is of course Administrator Isaac. And then next to it, you see a very groggy, seemingly continuously groggy, but definitely more in Lancer pilot gear that is in better condition than he last set, and Annette about Freyerson. Yeah, I'm here.
I have to ask a question that's very important for both the lore and the character that I'm playing.
Yeah.
Given that I'm a local, at any
Mhm.
point in time in the past, I don't know, few years, have Regine and Ed had sex? This determines
No.
their greeting entirely. Okay, cool. He walks up and shakes her hand then.
She'll take it and give you a nice, like, firmly grasp kind of thing.
Doesn't mean doesn't want to.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Oh,
Annette, what do you like on your waffles?
I don't suppose whiskey's a acceptable answer.
Fuck, if it is, tell me right now.
Um, I have. I'll ask Leon. Leon will probably have some. Is that. That's not healthy, though. I have strawberries?
God, I hope not. I'm on pain meds, so strawberries and waffles sounds fine. And I'll just start pouring hot cocoa. And he, true to his word, like gets his bag set down and just has these nice little mugs set up, and again, all like lovingly branded, like not too distasteful, just like a nice little UAD on them. Just pours each of you a mug, and we'll sit down, and he'll get himself settled in a chair nicely as Annette will do like a basically a flop into a you know. Oh,
I
I
just
understand.
need to narrate this now. Throughout the scene, Sim will put more food on Annette's plate whenever it looks like she's finished.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is a lady who's been out in the fucking tundra. You know, this is like end of Castaway, Tom Hanks. Like he's just shoveling in the crab legs kind of thing.
Reiji, who is currently stuffing his face, will look at Annette while, like, with a cup of hot cocoa and another waffle pizza folded, he will dunk the waffle in the hot cocoa and then start eating it. So while stuffing his face, we'll look at Annette and go, "When you're done stuffing your face, go right ahead."
And she's just gonna like take the hot cocoa and pour and like take a bite and then just take a big plug as she hasn't swallowed yet and just like let it. Where's your meeting, my guy? Oh,
Oh,
I was
that's,
waiting on you guys.
oh, that's a woman.
Oh, Annette, how many mechs were there when you got up there? What did that look like when you got there? How did you end up in that position?
Well, we got a call for aid for the wilderness rescue team. We go rescue people who are in need of rescue. Pretty easy. I mean, look. So yeah, I had a team of 10. It's large enough that the raiders fuck off, and but also, it was a big one. From what we understood, it seemed to be an all points bulletin kind of thing. I know Gilva's beating herself up about it too, but hell, I voted just the same. We all did, but as soon as we got there, whole damn thing was a trap. There wasn't anything, there wasn't anything there. Just a bunch of empty mechs. And that's when they
There
start.
they were empty when you got there?
If there were people in there, they got the fuck out of Dodge a long time ago. And then our systems started dropping one by one. I imagine you know something about that. Had to completely shut the old girl down.
It's
Yeah.
not a fun time.
No, it wasn't.
Do you think you were the first group lured up there?
I Well, yeah. No one else responds to distress signals like that. We didn't see any sign of raider activity. Or at least we didn't find any raider mechs. These are old. At least from what we could tell. Thought we found ourselves some assholes who set out a big ping in a scrapyard. Yeah. Then this thing starts picking us off. Surprised it couldn't do it earlier. Must have a range it can hit us from. which is nice. Means we're at least safe here, right?
Unless it can move.
Let's not tell ghost stories just yet.
Hmm.
Whatever it was, it called itself a god. It told us to kneel right before it started to kill us, which is nice. It's a nice touch from God.
Not that we have an understanding that you, Administrator Isaac, might have some more information on how it was handled initially.
The god in question.
Unival, yes.
Unival. Yes, I haven't had a chance to peruse the files myself, but once I'm back, I will be happy to assist anyone in getting the proper classification necessary in order to access those files from SecCom. They are, of course, usually entirely free to the public, but Sparr is, well, it's tough when the populace still lightly believes in divinity. You're not offending me.
Speaking of, the locals might be good
Sure.
to talk to. You know, if anybody knows anything about Unival, it's the techno shamans, right?
Yeah.
I would recommend to stop by the Temple of Unival Returned. They certainly might have some insight, and as well as, well, frankly, anyone from Clan Volsum should be somewhat familiar, at least with the lore. Though, if you're looking for history explicitly on lore, there is the hall's historical records there.
I just need to know how to kick their god's ass. It's about that simple.
Well, we are learning anything from SecCom. The secret is massive orbital bombardments and several carriers worth of Lancer pilots.
You
No.
nuke the site from orbit and move on.
Oh, well, nukes are such a dirty weapon nowadays. High impact velocity rounds do just as well without all the unnecessary cleanup.
Like SecCom cares about dirty.
Well, the good news is we're not SecCom, so we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And this seems to be like the first time he's honestly taken a bit of an aggressive tone to this. Like, he's done some fucking work to distance himself from this issue, and he's not about to so easily link up Third Com and SecCom.
Fair enough. I'll back off him.
Let me know when you start handing out, permissions. I'll definitely take a look through the lore, and I'll go with anybody who wants to go to the temple.
I'll take a visit sometime later this week.
Just stop by my office. I'd be more than happy to let you peruse all the files we have on hand, even the ones that weren't officially entered in. We have some first-hand reports. It's been interesting to peruse them. I don't like to, though. A lot of video data that gets very garbled.
Out of curiosity, were any of the parties with SecCom who classified that data related to Harrison Armory?
Harrison, well, I'd have to figure yes. Harrison Armory certainly has their foot in the door with any ongoing campaigns related to SecCom. I believe there are some administrators who, when they got their asses kicked, jumped over there, providing clemency and safe harbor. Would make sense. No offense intended if you're intending to affiliate yourselves with them. I can still make introductions. I have contacts. I just think less of them.
No, that's all right.
But there might be something that Harrison Arms has. But as I understand it, they have quite a staunch fire.
Annette, have you had a chance to look at any of the output logs from your? I'm sorry. What's your mech's name?
Well, promise not to laugh too much, but Freya's wing.
That's so lame.
You get a waffle pinged at your face.
He eats it.
Not lame. It's a damn good mech, and it's wrecked now. And I'm gonna have to rebuild it from the ground up.
Reggie actually genuinely softens, and that's rough. You'll get it fixed up.
Better. Otherwise, I'll scrap yours.
You could try. He's talkative.
Yep. That's why he's easy to manipulate. Bat a few eyelashes, and I'll be right.
You know he can hear you, right?
And there's like a moment where Sim is like going to jump to Virtue's defense, but it's too true.
It is
He's
regrettably
a-
true, my lord.
Jeez. Oh.
He's a sucker for a damsel in distress.
It is my natural calling, as you understand. I swore an oath
Oh,
in
jeez.
times of old.
What does that make me? Huh.
Oh, well, I...
Don't answer it.
A damsel.
Sim will elbow
most-
Reggie.
Fetching damsel, though, my lord.
All right. Yep. Over this. This briefing done.
Unfortunately, I don't think it is.
Just my fucking luck.
So, I'm sure you're aware, the reports have come in. The storm is, it's sitting with us, so... And back when I first got in here, locals taught me this one's called a sitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna stay with you while, the sun's out of view. I recommend using this as a chance to recuperate, and I'd be happy to organize anything you might need in regards to making contacts and other such. Feel free to ping me on the internet. You don't need to see me in person. You just drop the name of whatever fancy thing you'd like to get, and I'll make the necessary introductions. I do owe you, after all.
Have you got a volleyball and a volleyball net?
Unfortunately, I do not. They're not big on volleyball here.
I could probably scrap you one up if you give me like a day. Just
Field training for team building.
right. Well,
If that's
well.
Expense it.
I will gladly do so. I mean, Union owns the mana economy.
Well,
I mean, that sounds bad. We have digiprinters. It'll be done within a few hours. I'll just need to get it shipped out here.
that great news aside, sounds like we're grounded for a bit. Any lingering plans, CO?
I have a few calls I have to make.
And I'm
Did
sure
you want to
that-
have a word or something?
Just wondering what I should do before I go handle this sit at the Sparr right way. Find a good drink and a good lover. Dismissed?
No, I think I would like to have a word with you.
Fan. Fucking
As for the rest of the briefing, yes, I believe we are at a point that we can dismiss.
Sim
Administrator,
kind of-
I will be meeting you in your office.
Sim kind of looks between the two of them, obviously worried, but like also wants to get her hands inside of Freya's wing, and so skips off with a net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I'm gonna go piss first. I'll be right back.
any intention where you'd like to go with Annette? She seems to have made her home in the Wilderness Rescue Station. So,
If that's where the mech is, Sim just wants to compare the access logs to Reggie's, and if she can, also cut the worm that is feeding Omninet traffic to and from the mech.
absolutely, yeah. So yeah, she'll take you back. She'll start heading back. Come on, we can go talk to Yulva. No, you're probably not gonna say it yet because you're relatively new. But if you ever feel the need to call her mom, just do yourself a favor and don't. It's a whole thing. She'll make you pay mana.
I only called Captain Inahara Dad once, and I was very embarrassed, and I don't know how it got ahead of me here.
It's not ahead of you. It's a phenomena, I swear.
Oh, it's her.
She just gives off the energy.
Is this like a mommy, sorry, mommy thing?
I think it's exactly that kind of thing. Like cosmic paracausal phenomena. That woman just gives off mommy vibes.
Okay. I can be strong.
Be strong for both of us. I'll be in the hangar. I'll crack. She'll have all of her attention on me. But yeah, you guys can start heading off. Which is there a way outward operations we prefer to handle this in? Because we can definitely, whatever way people feel most comfy, cozy, and
I think this actually would be a super dope spot to maybe grab a break because we just like bang out an hour and 13.
oh my goodness, only an hour and 13. That's great for us.
I know,
Okay,
right?
cool. That's the quickest debrief I've ever had. All right. Yeah, so we'll be right back. Thanks so much for joining us thus far, and take a seat, get a snack, handle your liquids in whatever form you choose to do so, and maybe pick some waffles. Why not? We'll be right back. See you in 10. Less, who knows? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sparr. But also, of course, Frozen Rain, a campaign inspired by Sleeping Above a Frozen Crown by Laurie O'Connell, who has been super cool and supportive of us, at least on Twitter. I think we responded. Oh no! Quick to the Twitter sphere.
Someone go! I'm on it.
Someone set up a flare.
We're gonna add it on Twitter. I'm on it. Let's do it.
In the meantime, though, we are back in Yin, and there are many important things to do. I'm gonna cut this really like nice, fun, like Viking buddy music and hit something a bit more serious, as we have a chat to jump in on between our commanding officer and informal member of our squad. I leave you to it. You have the entire hangar, and it has various rooms to go up to, and small meeting spaces.
So where's this happening at, Chief? You tell me.
I don't see a reason why we can't have it here.
Well, if all out in the open's the plan, then sure, why not? I'll indulge.
Who is her?
Oh, right to it, huh? Why is it your business?
Consider it my business because it concerns the focus of a member of my team. And while you may be a temporary member of my team, you are still a member of it. So if there's a priority issue here, I would like to know.
You know, if there was a gold medal for dressing up horse shit, I think you might be a real strong contender. She's someone important to me. Someone I left behind somewhere. That's all that matters. If Yinaval got inside Virtue, then she saw her. And wherever she is in the galaxy, I imagine a god would know. I might never see her again, but I'll keep her safe.
You speak of Janea.
What did you just say?
Janea. It's the name of the girl. I'm afraid you don't have to go looking for a god to find out where she is.
I'm gonna ask you to pick your next words real carefully.
Do you want to talk to her or not, Reiji?
There's nothing I've wanted in the entire time I've been free. Not more than that.
Then come with me. And you might want to put on a shirt.
I swear, I should just not have gotten out of bed today. Alright, he'll sling over whatever corner of the hanger he tends to work on virtue in. There's probably at least one grease-covered shirt in there. Sling it over himself. I'm not doing that because I don't feel like putting a shirt on right now. And he'll rejoin.
So before we jump into this explicitly, if there's nothing before we get into this conversation, I'd love to extend your moment of dread here.
Go for it. This will be wonderful.
And jump over to Sim. So Sim, you were heading to the wildlife rescue station, where you can find the remains of Freya's wings and kind of what it's a similar cockpit, similar hangar situation to what you all have. Much more. There's definitely a lot more space, and empty chairs at empty tables kind of situation. Where it's really just Freya's wings right now. And some older mech chassis that, basically just frames without any adornment.
Yeah, we get a moment of Sim kind of stepping in and then hesitating, looking around before catching herself and moving on to Freya's wings. And
Well, there's the old girl.
how bad is it by Sim's standards?
So you grabbed Freya's wing rather, dragged it through it was shut down, but it still looks like something was beating against it, chopped. This is a wreck more than a mech.
Okay. It's not so bad.
You can say it, shit.
Oh, hun, I'm so sorry.
I don't know what planet you're from, but I'm gonna assume that's the closest you can get to swearing, so
I'm not from a planet. I grew up on a station.
that would explain it.
Uh,
Anyway.
And as she says that, she starts climbing up the side of the mech.
Oh, wow. No
not-
foreplay in you at all.
The access for the main terminal is going to be under the cockpit, right? Or have you got it ported up through the actual chair?
Main terminal should be right near the chair. Kept everything close. Best for heat. Keeping it all nice and toasty.
Yep. And Sim, I think this is the first time we see it live, but she kind of pulls a cord from underneath her ear and snakes it between her legs, sits down in the cockpit, and plugs herself into the mech as she powers up any of its core systems.
Powering it up really isn't.
It needs enough juice so that she can access the solid state memory.
Yes, like I said, it's you can get the battery on in the car, but not the engine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's about all you've got.
um okay. And is it the same sort of situation where it was like it accessed everything on the mech? Do we have any sort of like traces that I could follow?
You could attempt a hack slash hack roll, invent slash hack or whatever it is. I can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
off my head. You can do that for me right now if you'd like, and that can see if you can attempt to trace. But you can tell from your previous rolls that it has a similar picked over feel,
Yeah.
like a wave
Yeah.
crashed over it.
It's only a 9, so I think it's a matter of like what we get from Sim's perspective is as she delves into this machine, it's normally when she accesses her mech, uh, it's a very full simulation on her like her own body's hardware on her subjectivity enhancement suite. There's so little power going to the different parts of the mech that she is a kind of orange-headed blob moving around in a bunch of gray rectangles, just like large boxes. Um, and so she'll kind of repeat the process that she did for Virtue, um, but the data collection process doesn't have enough fidelity for her to spot anything unusual.
Yeah. Additionally, you know that Annette shut down all systems completely once things started to get really hairy. So the if there were fingerprints, they're very light. But yeah, best you can tell, there's of course a similarly left open channel, nothing extensive or too large to simply germinate that connection. Um, but still there.
Yeah.
But
Uh, Sim's eyes open up as she like leans forward and unplugs from the mech the little cord behind her ear, snaking back up automatically like it's a tape measure or something.
Mhm.
Um, well, there was interference. It looks a lot like what we saw on Virtue, but no real leads beyond that.
Well, that's something. As long as I don't have that thing jump into my cockpit and try and drive my own mech again, I'll be just fine.
Yeah, best I can say is stay away from that graveyard.
I don't think I'm going much of anywhere until I get the old girl repaired. Can't
Let me
work
know
like
if there's anything I can do to help. We we asked for a resupply from Savage 21st, and well, if we have anything spare, I'll let you know. Okay?
I'll gladly scavenge off of whatever you let me to, but I gotta put some of my own pride into it.
Nothing wrong with a little locally printed GMS, though, right?
Oh, GMS, VDL, whatever it takes.
What are your history logs like? Are there any are there any similar deployments that kind of went sideways, either in that area or from before?
I mean, Yova would be the one to ask about that, but most of the time we're just rescuing some caravaneers who accidentally drop themselves into a megafauna pocket, or raiders try to jump in and, stop some caravan from moving across the ice between here and the Yuga pocket.
All
Nothing
right.
crazy.
And
Every
it
once in a
sounds like
while,
we need to talk to mommy. I mean, Ilva.
nah, mana in the bucket, and you get a little ping to your basically whatever uh, means by which you get an it's like a Venmo request. It's called a mommy bucket.
Oh, is that set up with with microphones in the hangar?
No, but we catch each other.
Ah,
So come on. Let's go see Yilva.
to Yova.
Yeah. And, you literally just walk up the stairs and into it's very much like a fire watch tower, just with the snow pounding down around as Yilva kind of just is like looking off onto a monitor and then out into the snow and, oh, you're here. Okay.
The view from up here.
Well, it's covered in snow and frankly, I have some more work for you when you're ready, but beyond that, I'm great. I'm great. I just lost my entire team, except for Annette, of course. Very glad to see you back, of course, Annette, but
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm I'm sorry. I was the one who made the call to go out the next day.
I doubt you would have been able to reach them in time. I've gotten a quick download. Uh, what state your mechs were in, you did the right thing by calling your team to rest. You were in no state to move onward. They would have torn you apart. Anyway, anything I can directly help you with before I start asking for favors?
Have there been any similar disappearances in that area or beyond?
If they have, and she'll turn back, kind of bring out a holo projection of the area and put an overlay of usual pings. It kind of centers mostly around Yin and then, the goddess crater, even as far as Agartha and the Yuga pocket. Um, they don't really come to us from that far out. Most of the time, anyone out in the Death's Head Pass would be raiders or some overly ambitious expeditionary group. And the short answer, no. This is new. We wouldn't be asking for Union assistance if this was a routine operation.
I understand. You said you had work for us?
Yeah, well, I figured the rest of you would show up at one time or another, but I'll take whichever one of you I can. The map will shrink and show a kind of series of what looks to be trail beacons, um, scattered at appropriately long distances throughout the ice, throughout the storm. We just had a few beacons drop. I can get some of them online remotely, but this one here, and she pulls it up, it's somewhat close enough to Yin that it would be like a 3 hours trudge with mech, um, with the Lancer. But it's still a ways out. This one seems to have been clocked pretty bad. It happens, you know. Carnivorous mammoths come by, or bunch of a bunch of vultures try to roost on it. Either way, it's very useful for getting our people from one place to another, especially in a storm like this. I need it operational as soon as you can get out
Yeah. While your team is down, we can definitely lend a hand.
there. Well, thank you. I'd uh, I'd certainly be in your debt, but just as a note, the storm, if you choose to go out, and it is dangerous. I'll give you clearance to hit the lifts if you need to go out. If you want to go out now, but if you wait, well, hell, I can do it. It shouldn't be an issue. Once the storm's gone, that is.
Yeah. We have a few things that I think we need to settle in town before we do that, but I think we can get out either.
I understand you're very
tomorrow or the
busy
next
people.
day.
I absolutely understand you're very busy people. I'll leave you to whatever you need to get done. I'm just managing with whatever resources and teams I can get. Put it on, just put it on your radar.
Yeah. Let us know if you need anything right now.
Well, I need you to eventually get back out to the damn mountains where my team died and figure out what more went on, but, well, Sparr has different ideas. She's a rough bitch. She provides when she needs to.
Well, thank you, both of you. Um, I have some, and she pats the. Where would she put a hard drive on her body? It's like on the tum. She pats like the opposite side from the liver and is like, I have some data to go over.
All right. Let us know if the wilderness rescue team has anything to offer you, of course. We're on all major radio frequencies. Give a holler.
Will do.
And as just a note, where you headed? You plan that? Where are you planning to head next?
I think what Sim is gonna do is she's gonna at some point, either before or right now, have grabbed um, the casket for Mimir, so that she can pay a visit to the cultists of Yenabal, the reformed.
That's a strong word. But the religious, the Hall of Unival returned, certainly. Open to any and all who wish to consult in the presence of the machine spirits. But we have another conversation to get back to. So, Meg, you are muted.
I'm aware.
Okay.
And I was muted on stream, and now I'm not. See, everything's good.
I was singing along to some music. I apologize.
Nah, it's fine. You live in your
Well,
truth.
we can fix the broken. Anyway, we return as Reiji has put on a shirt, saving himself from some hypothermia.
Close the door.
And so, you were just saying.
I believe at this point, there's a passing comment made. Are you going to tell Virtue that they can stop functioning as an antenna now?
Shit, skip my mind. Yo, V, take a nap.
Oh, well, I am never going to take a nap on vision, sir, especially as I'm outside, and I believe so would leave me quite difficult to operate for some time after I cycle back
Come
home.
inside, you massive moron.
Well, that is a fantastic idea, my lord. And he'll enter back in, and you'd watch as, relatively powers down.
I am surrounded by headaches.
Maybe about the only thing that we have in common. Let's go.
Apparently not the only thing we have in common. I'm learning. Speaking of, you want to tell me how you know her first, or are we saving that for afterwards?
I think that might be a story better left to her, don't you think?
Suppose you got me there.
Before we go into this conversation, I have to ask, are you going to have the balls to make the call yourself and talk to her? Or am I going to have to be the buffer?
Having a real rough morning, friend. And it's for that reason and that reason alone you still have all your teeth in your throat.
She kind of looks him over as if she's sizing him up, and there's a slight smirk that's kind of daring, like, yeah, sure. And that doesn't answer the question.
She hasn't heard from me since I was 13. It might be best if there's an intro given at least before I spring it on her, yeah? Unless somehow you set this all up already.
Oh, I wasn't sure until I actually met you. It was a suspicion when I read your file, but now that I've met you in person, I can confirm it.
I'm gonna ask you what that means later.
And I imagine it's a very short and brisk walk to get to the administrative department where the OmniNet is set up.
Well, you want to do this right from the UAD?
Do we have an individual broadcaster that we can?
Yeah,
utilize?
so the OmniNet is pretty strong within Yin. You should be able to get this call out between. If you indicate to Inahara that you want to like get this on a private channel, you can absolutely get this up to the Savage 21st. And
Then yeah, let's throw this on a private channel, and we'll just
yeah,
go back
you
to one
you
of
can
the.
you can be in the hangar.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll go to one of the rooms in the hangar. Set it up as a private channel.
I was about to say you don't want to fuck up a UAD building. That's gonna...
Yeah. Reggie will stop at the door and like lean in the frame and gesture towards the comm system and just. Well, it's not like they can get any worse, right?
You certainly have a lot of optimism, don't you?
Oh, I'm brimming with it.
She, referencing her transponder to connect to the OmniNet, scrolling through, was this effectively the contact list before selecting Janaea Armand.
Now,
yes.
are we going? Do you want this to be handled the initial way or the new way?
What is that? What does that mean? What?
I just need to know as your captain here.
Let's start with the initial way.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, we'll start it with the initial way. Okay, please, by all means, continue.
Sorry.
Oh my.
I'm watching Foxy sweat.
I'm just confused. What's this? Is like, are we commencing plan Alpha or Bravo? Are we going with the Delta? Bringing the reinforcements, you know.
But regardless, moving forward, her hand hovers over the indicator to start the call, and she looks over at Reggie and says, "Last chance to back out now."
I don't back out of a lot of things. Why start now?
Click.
It takes time, of course. The OmniNet gets a bit. It wants to ensure a secure call and needs to alert the other person, but eventually you do hear a bottom of connection. And you hear.
What a surprise. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Did you all hear that teammate play that again? Like,
I heard it, but you could play it again if you want to.
And a little louder.
a little louder.
little
I'll
bit
do what I
louder.
can.
A little bit louder now.
What a surprise. I haven't heard from you in a while.
No, yes.
Better, but still very quiet.
Is
Are you playing it through Roll20? Sorry.
yes.
Elena?
That's fair.
What a surprise. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yes, well, training and getting everything sorted for this mission has kept me busy. That's actually why I called you. You will never guess where I ended up.
Oh? Where did you end up?
Sparr. This little ice ball of a planet that used to be a penitentiary. Community here has pretty much reclaimed it. It's not the best part, though.
Sparr? You mean the planet that I've been trying to pass policies for to help improve their living conditions? That Sparr? I mean, it's great to hear that they've reclaimed it, but there's definitely something you're trying to get at. What is it, Elena? Stop teasing me and spit it out, will you?
Yeah, that one. That guy you told me about every chance you got? Your guardian angel? He's here.
So I could hold for a second and let a thing happen. I'm gonna ask. We jump to a 4-person overlay.
I fucking hate you
No,
people
no, you
so
don't.
much.
No, you don't.
Give me fucking 30 seconds to move the overlay while I'm shattering, please. Fucking hell. All
I
right.
will, of course, allow. I would, of course, ask for the sake of the audience that we continue this conversation without me having to play music volumes at odd levels. I'll just leave it where it is and get it back in with a appropriately titled blush response.
All right. Hold up. I'm almost done.
Vermin's the GM now.
I wasn't ready. Hiya!
I'm in charge.
Okay, Leona, turn your camera on, please. Fuck, I broke it. It broke again.
Sorry, Discord's being slow.
It's fine. It broke again. I'm gonna fix it.
You're all good. You're all good.
Discord is lagging
do it.
itself to death. My apologies.
I can do it. It's okay.
I told you I need a second scene ready.
I know I had the scenes ready. It's just a matter of I gotta listen. All right, hold on. There it is. I fixed it. It's working. It should be switching over now. All right, and there it is. I did it. Now, as soon as I can actually let me click on Discord on my face. Hold up, I can almost see your camera. There it is.
There we go.
I mean,
Fucking
it's
so
great that
close.
I'm in Leon's book because like Leon, like, just saying.
Anyway, I would ask we continue this conversation now in person. As Foxy quietly dies. Please, by all means.
It left on your note, my dear.
Your guardian angel, he's here. Yes.
Reiji? You found Reiji? Alina, are you sure?
She's gonna look over at Reiji and then says, from what I saw on his record and meeting him in person, yeah, looks just like what you described him. A lot more of an ass than you painted him to be, though.
Oh my god, I can't believe he's alive. I can't believe you found him, Elena. Thank you. I mean, with everything that's happened to him, everything that happened that day, I kind of don't blame him for being an ass. Does he know? Oh god, what am I saying? He probably doesn't even remember me.
Hey,
Reiji?
been a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
You get off that shithole rock you were on.
I did, actually. I did exactly what you said. get off the rock, go to a prestigious school, go do something with my life. I did all of it. And it's all because of you.
You shouldn't say that.
No, I think I should. I don't know what would have happened that day if it wasn't for you. You literally saved my life. I owe it all to you, Reiji.
Please stop. I have been free on this rock for 9.5 years. And I have been telling myself that I would just stay here and die because the last thing you needed was me in your life. You can't tell me you've been thinking about me this whole time.
But I have. Every single day. What do you mean I can't tell you? That's the truth.
Then I should have come found you.
Yeah, maybe, but I was looking for you too.
Turns out I didn't get too far, yeah? Sparr kind of
And,
keeps people around.
well, that and kind of hard to find someone when the only thing you know about them is that their name is Reiji, that they have blue eyes, and that they like fall out of the sky like a guardian angel. It's not a lot to go on.
Draws. It's Reiji Draws.
Cross?
Draws.
Draws.
D-R-A-A-S.
Oh, yeah. The line's kind of garbled sometimes.
It's good.
Bad snowstorm.
Yeah, it's a sitter. We'll be stuck here a bit.
Gotcha. Armand. Janaya Armand.
It's a beautiful last name.
Thank you. It means visions of dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes enough sense. Listen, I got some stuff to take care of. I got some big things to take care of here, it turns out. Bigger than maybe any of us. But I'm gonna come find you, okay?
Okay. Yeah. I'll let Elena know where you can find me. I'm on a government planet working a government job. I'm pretty easy to find actually. Now, not back then, but now I am.
Well, that makes sense. I was the one hiding.
That's not your fault.
I'll make sure I see you soon. When I'm off this rock. Yeah?
Guess it's your turn to get off the shithole rock.
I won't keep you waiting too long this time.
Good. I'll be waiting. Reiji?
Yeah.
Maybe this is crazy to say, but
Don't, please don't.
Could I jump in really quick? Because someone gave me a knife earlier, and I'd love to stab it in someone's back right now.
Fantastic.
Uh-oh!
As you are about to say whatever you're about to say, the conversation goes, the comm link goes garbled,
Beautiful.
and starts to fizz out. But it's not just fizzing; it's chanting. It's quiet, soft prayer.
Oh,
Yinaval
damn it.
de Sulva. Oscar Vesekulva.
Janaya,
Cut the feed.
Janaya.
And you just
Reggie?
hear and it just
if you can
Reggie,
hear me, listen. I won't let a damn thing get to you. You hear me? Not a person, not a company, not a god.
Vesekulva.
I'll drop every fucking one if I have to, but I'll find
Reggie,
you.
I can't hear you.
Oscar Vesemanis.
I love you.
Vesenanis.
I love you. But
Oh,
Reggie, can you hear me?
Nothing. It is completely taken as if by a snowstorm.
Damn it.
You look at so for a quick note, you look at your own comm here, Miss Armand, and you swear you see a face in the static, a woman's face, long curled hair that seems to extend out like a tree, and it just vanishes. The only hint you have around beyond that is a slight flicker in the lights. But beyond that, the communication ends.
What the hell is he dealing with out there?
It's so tempting to have some like villainous Plithy comeback, but you don't get anything. It's so
Nope.
tempting, but you absolutely don't get anything. You're left in the dark.
Silence.
On the flip side, we probably see Reiji is still trying to scream at a monitor. Meanwhile, Elena is dealing with the technical aspect of it, trying to completely scrub.
Oh, he's smashed his hand into the communication
system.
console enough times now. It's probably not working anymore.
Oh, well, you know.
And it's probably still smashing his hand into it. His knuckles are bleeding. He's still smashing his hand into it.
Then at some point, he is just going to reach out and grab his wrist and force him to stop. Like, that isn't going to change anything. You are just going to continue to injure yourself, and now we can't scrub this Omninet port.
God, can you not be annoying for 7 fucking seconds?
Can you think rationally?
If I needed to hit anything else right now, I swear.
Give me your paracom.
He pulls a cuff off the back of his ear and then a small thing off of like a pin to his chest.
She goes through her own, forwards Janae's contact to it, and holds it back out to him. You can talk to her when we've dealt with all of this.
I'll do one better than that once she's dead. Let's go put a god down.
So, obviously, you are free to stick around, but for purposes of continuing the scene, I don't want to hold you on camera for longer than you like. But thank you so much, Leona, for jumping on here. Very quick bravo. More bravos. I encourage you to jump on if you want to give a shout out to your stuff later. When we're doing credits, we'll chat. But thank you so much. Feel free to hit whatever you would like.
Okay. I can definitely stick around. I can turn my camera off so that y'all can keep rolling, just so that I don't scramble the overlay.
It might do it anyway. I don't know.
I can make it not actually.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free. Turn off your camera. Cool. You can get you've earned yourself a long stretch of the legs.
I'll be here.
Yes.
And we're good.
Okay. So that's been handled, which is nice.
Ah, you bastard, you got me. Fuck.
Yay, we got him, everybody. We did what we
We
set
did
out
Oh,
to
you
do.
assholes.
A several week-long
In the
DM.
making.
Hey, Dirt.
Oh, fuck.
It's so satisfying.
Oh, you
Love,
piece of
love to
shit.
get emotional pay dirt.
Oh, you fucking asses.
We need
Oh.
more,
I
Bill.
have been holding that secret for so fucking long, and it has been murder.
Oh, I'm gonna make y'all
Okay,
pay for
okay.
this.
Before we start patting ourselves on the back too hard, yes. Well, let's
Checkmate,
know.
bitch.
Oh, you know what? Oh, you
Let's
fuck.
before we start patting ourselves on the back, we still have some more horrors of this world to understand. So, I need to know what the next move is from you two, and then we can jump in whether you will converge paths with Sim or not. Work from there.
Elena is going to the UAD.
Bangarang. All right. And Reiji, you are legally allowed to go get a damn drink.
Legally mandated, I would even go as far as.
There is
no.
a downtime
Go
option.
take a walk and cool off.
For
No,
those
I
not
mean,
familiar, there is a part of the rules that allows you to get a damn drink.
yeah, no, I think the variant of getting a damn drink that I take here is that Reiji absolutely goes over to, again, a little corner of the hangar that he makes his own. It's not where he sleeps, but he's definitely slept there plenty of times. It's a small little mini fridge area. He pulls out a beer that's definitely been aged a bit too long to be stronger than it needs to be. But the point is, that's how it works here because I said so. And after grabbing this aged drink, he's actually just gonna like climb into the cockpit of Virtue and close it and like crack the bottle and just drink while quietly letting tears pour for a bit. I suppose seems to be the game plan.
For my mental health, can it be something stronger than beer?
I mean, it could be whatever you need it to be.
Okay, cool. Because like, don't age your beer, folks. It doesn't work.
Listen,
But I will give you the equivalent. Like, if the equivalent of Sparr beer is basically hard liquor, that feels very in character.
absolutely, you know, it's like a Sparrite beer is like if you just had several shots of something much stronger than beer, but in a beer.
You can barrel age beer, hun.
I know, but he didn't sound like he was barrel aging
All
it.
right,
It sounds
well,
like he left a bottle out. But if you brought a small keg with you, that's great. I'm
How
on board
about
for this.
it doesn't fucking matter. I have my aged beer. So one way or they sell it that way. As a matter of fact,
In the far-flung
so
future,
suck my ass. How about that?
in the absolutely the far-flung future, they've created nanobites that continue to provide yeast. The longer you store it, I'm on board. All right, you get your really tough beer, and you start drinking.
Let the feelings out, I guess.
Put on your best sad boy remix and okay. Well, would anyone like to opt to go first between the Hall of Unival Returned and the Union Administrative Department? I will flip a coin. Don't doubt me.
Do it. I love the odds.
Oh, you like odds, you say? Well, it's
I
not
play
you
games
then.
RPGs.
It's not you. You don't get the odds. You get evens, which means we're starting with Sim. So, the Hall of Unival Returned is a large, incredibly large structure, kind of almost like a ziggurat style structure, style building, but with one long main entrance and other slotted steps into it. Even getting there, it's kind of like the entire town is built with it in mind. There's a pathway leading, a large pathway leading. I guess it's not really a pathway, but more of a main road leading directly towards it. Um, Immediately, this seems to be a lot of hustle and bustle of daily life, a lot of regular stands and pieces, and a lot mostly techno shamans gather around this place. But quickly, as you enter the halls, it's clear this is a meeting hall slash cathedral, where various individuals of the techno shaman dedications, evident by their intricate tattoo and also like incorporated cybernetics. People working machinery into their own bodies uh, are present. They they exist here. They train here, and if you'd like, what the options immediately apparent are you could just kind of like scrounge and barter with some techno shamans for some interesting, particularly spar relevant pieces, or try and get a deep dive on Sparry history.
I think the deep dive on Sparry history is what Sim and Mimi are probably interested in, given the context.
Sure thing. So this is probably going to take the remainder of your day, but actually, roll me a get focused, and we'll see what happens.
Using your own skills on self-improvement. Blow something up, charm, hack or fix, get a hold of something, no secrets. What do you think to get a hold of something? I have a thing in mind.
Get a hold of something if you're looking for some piece of Sparry lore in particular. Absolutely.
Cool. I will do that then.
What's the worst that could happen, audience? A +2 on a d20 roll? That shouldn't be anything difficult.
It is sure a 9.
Okay, now downtime activities. If I get this rulebook open to the right page, which I don't immediately, but I certainly can
What's
in...
interesting is that it doesn't have anything listed for roles. It just is like, when you trigger this, do this thing.
Give me a second here. Creation example compendium. Oh, there we go. Downtime. Boom. I am smart and I must consult the tome. The tome of information. Okay. Get focused. Different than I get organized. Yeah. Name what you want to learn or improve. And never mind. You don't have to even freaking roll for this. My goodness. You spend the remainder of your day and probably the beginning of the next day delving into the lore of Sparr, understanding the planet itself, the kind of history of people struggling against the world to survive, and coming to grips with the fact that this planet really wasn't meant to broker human life, and that the SecCom really fucked up any and all attempts at making this a peaceful diplomatic transition. And Third Com has really been playing very nice and careful to try and get Sparrites to be involved in Union infrastructure. But there's a proud people here. If you're not already familiar, there's a few major clans: the Shifing, Yingling, Blood Axe, Aegir, Volsung, and Krovan. That you become intimately familiar with. And any questions you want to ask me about, of course, you now have a +2 trigger for Sparry lore. But as you are in there, you can't help but strike the feeling that you're being watched. No one approaches you yet, but you can get a little like tickle at the back of your neck. And that will be, going into your second day. But that means we jump over to the Union Administrative Department.
So she steps in, and is it a relatively open office, or does the administrator have his own set up to the side?
You recall when you first went in, there was a secretary who will just wave you right up to his office. It's a similar Firewatch style office, um, thermoregulated, but you keep the windows open, or rather, not the window was open, but windows visible for all around. Ah, you're back. That's great to see. I hope to speak to you all again soon. Anything I can help you with? Do you need the files now, or?
I would appreciate the files, but I also wanted to make you aware of something.
Well, by all means, make me aware of it.
You're going to want to consider going through all of the OmniNet ports, including the main one here. Seems that this fragment got a trace on us. We just witnessed it
Sorry,
connect through.
fragment.
That's the best word I can think of for it. We heard the same chanting, saw the same code envisaged on our terminal while on a broadcasted call on it with another planet.
Unfortunate. um. Well, we'll do our sweeps and, of course, get our best. Gets a techno shaman and union tech teams on it. Of course, Gaussum should be able to catch anything that's getting too obvious over the OmniNet, but well, I'll contact them all the same. But you need anything else then? In the meantime, I appreciate it, of course.
Just the files, assuming that you've gotten whatever clearance you need to get.
All too easy. No one likes pretending like they're trying to hide away SECOM military reports. Here, you can look over them on your own on a terminal over there. He'll point over, and there's a small little secondary desk. I'll be here. A few, clan matters I have to help try and handle. The storm always brings a few extra bits of work to my desk.
Thank you. And going over this desk and taking a seat at the terminal, is this one connected to the OmniNet? Will it broadcast for a call?
Yes, they should all be able to contact whomever you like. Again, total secrecy, total relative secrecy. You need that. I've been told we have very strong links in this building.
Noted. Thank you. And she will start going through files and putting off a secondary call for a little while.
I imagine you might. So going through SecCom's and TurkCom's data on Sparr, Yin, and the war. It's immediately apparent. If you want to make me any kind of roll, if you have any triggers you feel will be apparent for scrubbing through a lot of data in a relatively fast amount of time, you can do so now. But for the moment, it appears the SecCom kept a lot of data, a lot of pilot records, pilot video, um, mission reports, the whole shebang of the Sparr campaign.
I don't think I have any triggers that would directly apply. So.
Then please, by all means, roll a d20.
That would be a nat 20, dear sir.
Fantastic. You start cutting through this thing like a hot knife through butter. So, You find a lot of relevant information on when you start looking at prudent interval, the NHP that went on to claim itself to be Unival. Um, you see a lot of firsthand records of a number of temples being stormed as a lot of as numerous militant groups fought to protect them. Uh, it seems that Secom didn't leave any stone unturned, so every fragment that you would understand there to be uh, was destroyed. Prudent Interval had its casket directly broken. Every CompCon unit that was, possibly derived from it was required to be destroyed. Uh, Basically, the Setcom put Sparr in a temporary dark age to ensure that Unival would not return. The religion was allowed to stay. The NHP, not so much. By all accounts, Unival should be dead.
That just makes us even more curious.
Well, if there's anything else we can help you with, of course, please let us know. We're here to assist you. It's your pilots, and I mean, you're you're a Victoria. Be more than happy to assist.
Well, that is greatly appreciated. Peter Strider?
I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? You
No.
all right? Well, I'll be here if you need some cocoa or anything else. Again, you can feel free to pay me once you've all locked in whatever new components or weapon parts you'd like to procure, and we'll have it shipped and digiprinted as soon as we can. So, what are we feeling right now? Do we want to hit a break really quick, or Rage, do you want to do something fast? Because if you're going to head to the Hall of Unival, I'd say we take a break because I got to do a thing to you.
That's fine. I can embrace a break.
All right. We are going to embrace a break right here. Hold it real tight and true. And when we come back, we hope to see you. So,
fuck. Bars.
sit right
Wow.
there in your seats and get nice and comfy because when Frozen Rain comes back, we're gonna stream it right into your dumpy.
Goodbye.
All right, hey everybody, and welcome back to the super fun time that is Frozen Rain, where no one's emotions are ever heard.
So much fun. Just oodles of fucking fun. Just overflowing with barrels of fun.
Oh hi!
Sim's having a great time.
Sim's having a wonderful time, and I'm here for it.
It's a good day.
So we were gonna jump in on Reiji doing something. And I'd love to hear about it. Absolutely.
I should unmute myself off of stream off of that first, but I picked it up before I said anything important, so I'm back now. Okay, sorry. Emotions break my brain too, apparently. Any case, after drinking himself into a mild stupor, Reggie's going to hop up and I don't know if how the layout of this place looks, but I need it thematically to be that from the cockpit of Virtue, from exiting the hangar, he can see at least the top of the Hall of Yin or Yinival or Yinivalian Hall, the Yina Hall,
the Hall of Unival
the
returned.
the
But I
Yina
love the
Hall,
fact that when as you're thinking, the Yina Hall,
the Yina Hall. You got it.
Doug Yina Hall, owner of the Dimsdale Dim Hall.
Okay. Um. Whoo! All right. So yeah, after eyeing the Hall of Unival returned, he's gonna stumble his way over there, kind of still together. He's still like able to function, but definitely a little tipsy. Gonna barge in and look for the most techno shamany looking person he can find. He's not gonna like walk up and be like, "Yo, what's up, asshole?" But he's looking around for him.
There's a lot of, as you put it, techno shamany looking people around. Ranking them by hierarchy, your best guess would be just finding the oldest person here. I don't want to call it quite Mechanicus vibes, but definitely an older person with more of their body more perfectly in tune with the machine spirit. At least from your understanding is how there would be some seniority.
All right. So yeah, I think the first thing he does when he sees this kind of person of seniority and status is he rolls up kind of like the short sleeves on his t-shirt to kind of show more of his tattoos, as some of the circuit working things are made in similar patterns to reflect some Sparrite culture, kind of showing like, hey, one of y'all, to a degree at least.
Yeah.
And
You
he
got
approaches.
some Sparr too, in you.
Yeah, he approaches very respectfully, honestly. Like, walks up and offers a kind of like low half bow, and just a moment of your time.
Of course. Please. What can I assist you with, young acolyte?
I had a visit with a place like this once when I was a little younger, when I first got free. I got told that, Sparr is supposed to temper you, but give you everything you need to survive if you're willing to take it. Yeah? Got the idea?
This is true. Unival provides only what we need.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I need some. I need bigger guns for what I got coming. Bigger weapons, but I can get those elsewhere. I need something else. I need armor, protection.
There are a number of arms merchants, both.
Uh-oh. Right, you're back.
Oh, I'm back. There are a number of merchants, both within and around the hall, and in the wonders of the gods' path that some would call the Omninet.
All right. What about protection from a god? You got me there?
I'm afraid I don't understand what you ask of me. You mean to protect yourself from machine spirits?
Reiji takes a step closer to this holy figure. I'm gonna be straight laced with you, friend. I'm gonna kill your god.
My god cannot be killed. You might kill something wearing its face, or something using its name. But Yinival endures, just as we endure. And so long as we believe, Yinival lives on.
I'll wager you know most of your... I mean, of course you know most of the tales, right? You're of the faith. Would you believe I know one?
I would never turn aside a tale if it was offered.
Story goes, Alahuaya the Bold set out to claim a star from the sky. And the Storm Lords, jealous of the sky and that beyond the planet, wouldn't let him have it. And so the bold went to every Lord of Storm and plucked their head from their shoulders, one at a time. If another took the mantle, well, that meant one more head. And Reggie is still stepping closer this whole time. Every single one. Till he got that star.
Do you mean to threaten me in my devotion?
You? Nah. You're fish in a barrel. I got bigger things to worry about. Tell me though, Unival, god of frozen survival and tundra-born resistance. It's a god who loves a challenge, yeah?
Indeed.
And what's a better challenge than killing God herself?
You have your own opinions of divinity, of the machine spirits and their origin. It's just fine. I simply meant to speak my faith to you. As I said, if you kill something wearing the face of a god, you are not a god slayer. You're a thing killer.
Well, you kill enough things. Listen, Pops, you can keep your faith as close as you need to. I wouldn't think to question it. Been on the shithole long enough to know that, well, you all know it better than most. This ain't about faith. It's just about a girl. So can you get me armored up or not?
You know more than all that the Sparrite way is not to give without receiving. I would ask if you require armor to speak to our representative in the meeting house. Otherwise, I am sure there are many merchants who would trade much mana for what you ask, for it's a boon that many might seek.
Meeting house sounds fun. Guess I'll start there. Thanks for your time.
May Unival guide you.
Yeah, right to her frozen throne. He's gonna turn and walk off at that point.
As you're making your way out, you will have someone he'll hear that. Might have heard you're trying to kill God through some little birds that some would call my ears.
Nosy ones break quicker. What you got?
Oh, well, ears just cartilage. It's hard to break them. But you turn, and it's a figure wearing a Sparrite, a Sparr 2 winter suit, but a completely red mask. Beyond that, no facial features, nothing, just clean mask. I'd like to make a deal. Get you something I think could greatly help you out.
I've already come all this way. Give me the pitch.
Not out here. Too many ears. Too many listening sensors.
Too many use. Got it.
I'm in a quiet place. This way, into the stacks. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise.
You know, I had a girl tell me that a couple nights ago. I woke up with a knife wound.
I promise to leave you entirely unscarred from our meeting. If you feel cheated, that is entirely on you, but I drive a fair deal for honest work, my friend. That's all I am.
So just the fun. Let's just make it quick, huh?
Sure thing. Now, first, introductions. You are...
Ragey. Just Ragey.
Well, just Ragey for now. If that's what makes you comfortable, that's fine. I am just the broker. Other names aren't needed. So, I'll make you a deal. I heard you had some dealings with, well, let's just say a very interesting entity to me.
Interesting is a word people keep using for this thing, and I really don't appreciate it. But sure.
Whatever adjective you'd most prefer to throw onto it, I will gladly use, but the fact is, you give me just any bits of fragments of information that you currently have on your interactions with this entity, and I'll make it worth your while. And I'll give me combat logs, and I'll get you something that'll really make you able to kill gods.
I mean, that's cute. I'll bet you can probably do it too. And then get me and my entire squad shot and left in the frozen waste when we're not useful anymore.
Gods, no. Killed your entire squad? No, absolutely not. I'm a broker. I make my living on fair dealings. If I killed every contact I had, then where would I be? I would like to establish a continuing partnership. Here, a gesture of goodwill. I'll show you the goods I have. And he reaches into his coat, and he pulls out a set of three, what appears to be 3 vials. Now these little babies, they take what most would call the human experience and give it a bit of an upgrade.
I got more than enough drugs in me already, friend. You got anything better?
Drugs? No. This is going to push you beyond human limitations. These are nanites, guy. These will make you safer. These help you integrate to your mech and understand incoming dangers, like, say, a perceived divinity. You put one of them, you give one of the vials and introduce it into your mech systems, the other goes into you. All of a sudden, you're working a lot closer together. The mech only needs 1 dose per frame, of course, if you ever change it out. But you, well,
I assume I'll need several. That's where I come back to you for more. It's usually how these work, right?
oh, you assume the worst in me.
I assume the best in everyone.
It's wise, smart. Look, this is something great.
You have a deal.
Just like that, no riders,
I need Unival dead.
and I'll make sure she dies.
No,
By
I will.
your hand, my friend, by your hand. So, and he hands over the satchel, and it kind of like digistructs a more discreet packaging to make it appear just kind of like a slab of metal.
So Mech
Should
gets,
fit.
so Mech
Mech
gets
gets-
one, and I get however
You
many
get
I need.
one. You take one,
Well,
and then, well, I give you a second for free. Because I'm such a good guy. And I promise, anything I ask for going forward, if you ever need more, like you so crassly assume you'll need, I'll be right here. You already gave me what I really need. Just the one go.
well. That said, I guess Reggie would kind of just not say anything else, just start walking past the guy. Also, this is a question for the GM more. Is this a using combat thing or a use like, you know?
Used in combat or whenever you need it.
Okay, well.
To get you in game terms, this is a +1 accuracy on all checks, saves, anything that involves a d20.
Okay, I guess I was more asking like, does it sound like the kind of thing where it's like was the broker saying use this when you need to go kick some ass, or it's just like use this to begin bonding with your mech more, so I should be using it like.
Use this to go kick some ass.
Got it. That explains it. I was gonna use it literally just end this episode. I was gonna go do it, but
Use this to go kick some ass.
Well, I will hold on to that because that sounds pretty badass. Yeah, I guess he starts to walk out, and starts making his way outside of the, well, I guess back towards the end of the hall, and probably, I don't know, see somebody. I don't know. How'd that go?
Yeah, I imagine you're heading out just the same time as someone else. Please.
Reggie!
Oh, hey,
I
Sam.
stopped by earlier. Well, couldn't find you.
Just got here not so long ago. He stumbles a tiny little bit. Wouldn't be noticeable to anyone that's not Sim. It's probably a siren call to Sim. Just out for a stroll, getting some ideas out of my head.
Oh shit! What happened to your hand?
Oh, Crag Cat caught me out of the window, out of hanger.
Don't lie to me.
Elena knows her. I talked to her.
How are you feeling?
Angrier. And I don't know why. Scared. And I know exactly why.
Was she happy to see you?
I don't think I could have predicted it. You ever been welcomed home? Anywhere?
We get cut to last episode where Sim was hearing the voice of Mimir again for the first time in 5 years. And then I cut back. Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Then yeah. I guess you know what it feels like.
And she'll kind of reach up and brush at the tear that he's not aware of. I'm so happy for you. And she'll just like bury in a hug.
I've been wasting all this time here just bullshitting, just waiting to die. And I could have been
I think
fighting.
we both were. Being in that limbo, and she'll kind of lean back and look up at him. It's the worst feeling in the world. And I know for you it was easier to stay there, but we're both out of it now. And her face is going to turn again because there's still something unanswered for her. What really happened to your hand? That wasn't Elena, was it?
No. Yenival, or a fragment of her, or whatever the hell it is we've been dealing with lately, it got inside the Omni for a second. Scattered the comms. I lost it.
She'd know about Janaya by now.
She's not safe, Sim. I've been waiting on this rock all this time, just to die. And now I won't leave it until I'm dead or she's safe.
if you die before you see Janaya, I'll kill you myself.
He just hugs her again. And I think at
Hey,
this point is
no,
actually crying sometimes. No,
stop.
I think he's crying too hard to let her go, but is like trying very hard to make sure no one else knows that he's crying. So he's just gonna like hold her very tightly and like kind of bury his face a bit. And I think like a few tears hit the top of her head. And at that point, she's like, ah, yeah. He's a cry-a-boy right now.
Did you tell her we got married?
He stops crying to Blanche. Ow, fuck. We haven't had to use that for cover in so fucking like, God. No, I didn't. We've been through some shit, huh?
I think we'll be through a bit more before we're done.
Seems like it.
Come on, let's go get an annulment.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun idea.
Well, you are right at the Temple of Unival returned.
Just walk back to the priest that just pissed off. Hey, dude, can you help divorce me and my wife real quick? I know I just came talk to you about some god killing shit, but we can come back to that later. More importantly,
I know I said your religion is trash.
We find my friend that I made episode 1. Quick.
Yeah, I mean they can basically hand wave you through a ceremony if you want, which is basically like acknowledge that anything you have on your own now is your own. Anything you built together must be evenly divided. It's very like we're all in this to survive. We understand you don't like each other anymore, but we're all going to have to share resources to some extent. So you don't break apart anything that's not yours. But yeah.
Sim is like laughing because she's absolutely like, yeah. It's like, yes. Every time they look over, she's like, but then as soon as they look away, she's like,
whenever we actually got this ceremony done the first time, there was the moment when they were like, anything you build together, like, must be, like, anything you build from here must be, like, split in half. Virgie just looks up at Virtue and just goes, Dibs left half, by the way.
I will certainly not be split. You cannot so easily tear me asunder.
He just looks at Sim. And I think this is definitely meant a lot different in the moment, but I think in the moment kind of, like, maybe locks a finger and is like, heard the bot. Guess you're stuck.
You hear Mimir, I think you should take the left half. It appears to have more material.
5 years ago, that would have been real bad.
Yep. See?
Upsetty spaghetti.
Upsetty spaghetti in Fletty. That last one didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but it landed. The point is there.
Yes.
All right. So I guess that's my downtime action. I'm good. I felt enough feelings tonight. I'm fine.
Are you
not
sure?
feeling more.
Uh-oh.
Am I? Did I miss something? Oh,
No,
I mean,
no, you're good. I'm just asking.
listen, Turk. You gave me the thing. I'll do the thing. I'll do it if you want me to do it. I'll fucking do it. Don't stop me. I'll do it if I have to do it.
I'm not
Is it
stopping
crying?
anyone from doing anything.
Is it crying again?
If you
Is that what
wanna,
I'm
if
gonna
you
do?
wanna set
No, it's not
yourself up, I think for a moment we should jump over.
Yes, I agree.
To our very our good friend Lane. What you doing with your week?
After ensuring that everyone is kind of, there's some hounding going through the week as she collects information from everybody to compile it, as well as getting them all sorted out with whatever upgrades they're wanting to get for their mechs, so that that's all sorted and organized as quickly as possible. all of it is namely a precursor to continue to put off until the last moment when it finally comes down to she has to put in her submissions for upgrades. When she goes to a private Omninet terminal in the hangar, and after shutting her eyes and stealing herself for a moment, makes a call home.
Okay. So, you again get a brief delay in the Omninet, and then you of course get the familiar just connection. Ba-doom. Elaine, who are you
Mother?
calling? Sorry, could we clarify for the audience sake who you're calling?
The call that she is making is to Commander Alexander Victori. For the audience's clarification, this is Elena's father. And despite there being blood relation, her demeanor is still very much as if she is standing at salute addressing a CO. And offers the greeting, Commander.
So, report still that you have deployed to Sparr. Any comments?
We're dealing with a remnant of an NHP referred to as NFL. According to records, for all intents and purposes, the NHP was obliterated. Yet we have encountered it taking over not only empty systems, but active and functioning mechs, as well as infiltrating one of our own.
And I assume you've handled that appropriately? Isolated and...
As much as we can, and not as well as we thought.
Christ, Elaine. What kind of two-bit operation are they having you run out there? As soon as that mech was compromised, it should have been destroyed. Cycle any NHPs involved. Bring them back in caskets. Standard procedure.
There are hardly any mechs down here to begin with. Completely destroying one of our own mechs is simply not an option without a complete overhaul.
I assume that's why you've called me.
I've called in regard to making upgrades to my own mech.
Is there something wrong with Legacy's current build? It's acquitted to your level of skill. Do you believe that your mother and I have made a mistake?
I do not. I believe that that weapon that we were left in experimental phases for a while would be rather beneficial in this situation.
You want to drop an experimental weapon into a battlefield with a cascading NHP that can take control of mechs and pilot them and send them against other pilots.
Are you doubting my skill?
I thought that was implied. not necessarily even your skill, but your judgment situation. Do you really think bringing more firepower to this fight would benefit you?
It's not namely for the firepower, it's for the capabilities of it. We've been working with the neurospikes, we've been working with the with the Veil rifle. Both of them would benefit greatly for this unit, as we are dealing with a veritable graveyard of mechs that this NHP can control.
Our partnership with SSG is, as always, very tenuous. If they find out you lost their design schematics to a rampant NHP, you will put that into a further tenuous position. If I allow you to have this, it comes with a promise that you will not allow yourself to be accessed by this foreign entity.
I thought that went without saying.
Maybe you did learn something. Very well. Schematics will be sent your way. I assume there's a coherent enough digiprinter there to get you what you need. I'll, of course, be passing this information off to your commanding officer and ensuring that he is still monitoring your progress and reporting back to me. He's been very scant on the details.
I believe that comes with this technically not being your jurisdiction.
I understand it might not directly be my jurisdiction, but as my daughter, you are my jurisdiction. You'll get your parts. I expect another full report once you're back from whatever you have to do next. Commander Victoria out.
Thank you, Commander.
And yeah, that fucking conversation ends. Sorry. Okay.
I'm just saying, if it's for good
Did it feel
society,
gross, bud?
I would spend a token to have Reggie appear and just be like, "Daddy issues, huh? Yikes." That explains a lot.
I appreciate that on some level, Inahara and Sim are on the same page, making sure that, like, fucking Victoria Dad has less access to Elena than he would prefer.
I mean, valid. He seems kind of like a dick.
He sure does.
High-ranking Lancer pilot, absolutely like Union's poster boy kind of thing.
Oh, so it's genetic. Got it.
Well, you're not there to comment that yet, so
Listen, sometimes Reggie slips into my personal person.
absolutely.
But this is probably where she ends up staying for a bit, is the main hangar, to take a couple minutes to decompress.
I imagine
And-
our group returns to find you there.
This is perfect. Elena, Reiji, I have somebody that I'd like you both to officially meet.
Go right ahead, kid.
Sim produces the casket that stores Mimir. And I imagine it's not like, because there's like a special thing that you can get in Lancer. It's not the fanciest version of like being able to project the person and be able to talk to the NHP, but it's like a small red and kind of glassy. It looks kind of like a gem with a smoky inside. It's red and black. It has gold circuitry on the outside of it, and the it kind of echoing the way that old lace looks with the kind of rack of antlers. Its port kind of has almost an antler motif to it. And she sets it up on the table and she kind of clicks the front button to project Mimir.
Mimir's projection, what exactly does that look like? I don't believe we've jumped into that yet.
So we talked about it being like, I would say that it's kind of humanoid. Difficult to assign Mimir a gender, right? It's human shaped, sitting on like a log in front of a tree, and the bottom of the projection kind of looks like a natural spring. There's water reflecting the image of Mimir. I think the whole thing is done in kind of a single color light, kind of like the Star Wars transmissions. But instead of being blue, it's kind of fluctuating between like reddy oranges.
I'm kind of visualizing the projection of Cortana in the very first, like, original Halo, where it's very much like parts of a projection rather than a continuous whole.
Sure, yeah. But not like weirdly naked the way Cortana
Absolutely,
is.
yeah. No. But like that kind of like piecemeal projection.
Yeah.
With on like on a disc that can project out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And boys, she's not naked. It's a skin tight suit. Yeah. Anyway, Mimir will kind of sit and turn its head around. Its movements are still very stiff. Our movements are very stiff. And hello, I have read your files. It is a pleasure for you to see me.
Well. Ain't you
This
one
is
lucky
Mimir. And she like stammers for a second before saying, my girlfriend and co-pilot. We met a long time ago, but she wasn't available until recently.
Well. Ain't you one lucky mammal, Sim? Reiji, pleasure to meet you.
I am aware of your name and call sign. Rather, your lack of call sign.
Still polite to great.
Of course.
She's still groggy. Is what Sim settles on.
I am working on it, as Sim says.
You'll both figure it out, I'm sure.
And you pilot Legacy.
I do, yes.
This is Elena.
A fine name. You do good work. You kill quite effectively.
Mimi, that's not...
It's accurate.
Too tactical. Too tactical.
Oh. You work well.
Add that.
It actually does get Elena to kind of crack a smile though. Like, no, I don't think you need to correct her with that one. It's accurate.
Well, given you two have about the same emotional spectrum, I figure it's only a matter of time for you to make a friend around here.
I believe that was meant as an insult towards my current lack of expressionism.
No, it was a statement for you. Insult for her, though.
Hey, Chief, that's That's a shitty thing to say to both of them.
Has Reggie treated his hand yet?
Nope. It's wrapped, but it's not like treated.
I glance at it and like, well, I'm not the one with shards in their hands still.
No.
Why didn't you get that looked at?
No time. Busy drinking myself stupid.
You are quite stupid for saying that. You have hurt both your friends here.
Yeah.
I've also noticed increased cognitive levels in Virtue. Hello, Virtue.
Hello! It is good you can fully converse with us as we do. Apologies for my lord's most...
He doesn't actually bow, but I have to.
apologies for my lord's most indecent statement towards you.
It will be okay. We are all growing.
Well, I'm gonna leave this specimen of an interaction on its own. V, find me out back later tonight.
Of course, my lord. I wouldn't dream of missing it. Later, could you provide a specific time, perhaps by private messaging?
I'll ping you. Sim, genuinely, really happy for you. And Elena, don't think we're square, but I appreciate it.
When he says square, he does not intend to say they should become square-shaped, correct?
Oh, that he means that they're not. Their debts aren't paid yet.
And hands in pocket, cigar in mouth while walking away, and just look how fast she's learning.
I am learning quite quickly. I imagine continued conversations with Reggie would get me much more information about vernaculars.
He is definitely still carrying the package he got with him from the from our broker friend, by the way. So that's probably noticeable.
What'd you get at the market?
Don't know. Gonna find out later.
I am registering that as a very ominous statement. Is this accurate?
Definitely weird.
Concerning.
Both of them at once.
I'm sorry, I received contrasting information.
In this context, it's about the same. We're both expressing in our own ways concern about whatever Reggie has picked up.
Understood. Well,
Anyway, let's get you back to the charging port.
yes, please. I am already quite low on.
Yeah. And she'll click the button and scoop up the little casket.
Sim, do you know what's happened already?
What do you mean? Oh, with Janaya.
Well, that's in part. But I'm talking about Ilnev and the Omni.
I know she got into the OmniNet.
I know you're going to do what you can without me saying it. But do what you can to protect her. You just got her back.
Everything.
Good.
Sim, you don't get like a verbal response, but you do feel the cask in your hand just like warm a little bit in your grasp as you say everything.
All the issues for upgrades have been submitted. We should start seeing digiprint drops within a few days.
so excited.
So, if there's nothing immediately happening next, I would like to jump on one final scene here of when, Reiji, you feel most comfortable pinging V.
I did it again, but I fixed it. Yeah, so I think, yeah, it's when it gets dark enough that he assumes everyone either is asleep or assumes he's sleeping, and probably finds his corner of the hangar is like, but just like tinkering on small things. Like maybe he has like some small little like, actually, you know what? Because I like Gundam so much, it's a personal little personal like assistant bot, like little like companion bot he's been working with for a while. Kind of like floats around and makes funny chirpy sounds. Doesn't work. He's been tinkering with it for a while, and eventually it gets late enough. He just puts it down, looks at the package, and just, "Hey V, you there?"
Of course, my lord. I don't usually require sleep, though if you need me to, I can certainly try.
Come on over. Wanna have a look at something real quick?
Mm-hmm. And he'll move the mech will move its way over. It's obviously not as ergonomic as when a human pilot is in control, but it lumbers its way towards you and takes a knee.
So, opens the package and sort of shows the 3 vials. Got this from the market today. I didn't get all the mumbo jumbo, but what I gather is I give you one, I take one, and we bond closer, I guess.
Oh, most excellent, my lord. I would, of course, refrain from injecting anything into yourself that you're not entirely comfortable with. However, if it makes us better and more effective on the battlefield and allows us to engage more deadly opponents, I say we charge forth with the righteous fury that is in our names.
Well, when you put it that way. Listen, man. Whatever it takes to get this god killed, yeah?
I intend to send a lance directly through the devil's heart. A god she might be, but a devil only in my eyes.
Right to the end then, big guy. And he opens one.
Death and glory, my lord.
At least one of those. And he pours one into an exhaust port while taking another, cocking it, and just...
You can basically hit it into any like we call it an arterial vein on human, but like I'm so bumping on the name here. They move things. Any kind of liquid reserve that carries around coolants, anything that needs to be carried around the mech, injecting into there. You can watch as an orange liquid disperses and then commingles briefly, shifting the colors, but then seeming to work its way out and around.
That was interesting. I'm detecting it appears to be waiting for a signal. Most interesting concoction. What figure, what druid or witch or warlock did you say you procured this from?
Called himself the broker. Met him in the hall.
A most roguish title. Are you certain he can be trusted?
One way to find out. Needs to activation, you said, yeah?
I
Waiting on
appear
something?
to be waiting on a second half of programming, like something in me is lying abed and waiting for the cockerel to crow.
You gonna try to wake it up?
I am trying, but it seems beyond my reach at the moment. Quite frustrating, I tell you.
Alright, I was gonna type it, but I'm gonna purposely, I'm just asking some amount of time. Is this a thing where you're like, I should leave this as a cliffhanger for now? Or is there a way you want me to push this? Because I have a way I could try to do it, it'd be super fucking cool, but I could easily just be like, we'll leave that as a vague mystery for now, if that's the game plan.
If you want to leave this like a vague mystery, because like I said, putting this is a when you're ready to kick ass situation.
Alright, well, you know what? We're gonna fucking try this then. If it doesn't work, then fuck it. I just wasted my cool moment for nothing, but who cares? So Reggie's gonna, half hang in Virtue's cockpit, kind of like with the heating on, so like it's still warm enough they can like hang out of it without freezing.
Mhm.
And then we'll key the hangar doors to open. We'll maneuver Virtue out to just kind of like sit just outside of like the edge of the hangar, you know, kind of up on a bit of a cliff overlooking, you know, the night. Let's close the door behind him. He then comes back all the way out of the cockpit, you know, jacket billowing in the wind. Closes his eyes, breathes in real deep, lances them open, and genuinely just howls. Like, back bent, arms stretched, just loud as he can out into the night, like some kind of creature. Just every ounce of rage and pain and anger he's been feeling from, well, I guess the past 24 fucking hours, he just vents just to see if anything happens.
With after you inject yourself, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You feel your perceptions sharpen. Like the cold is more crisp, the night and the clouds overhead seem a bit more thin, and you can even briefly see some incredibly bright stars in the light of a nearby planet. And like you could hear more, you feel more in tune. It is everything honestly seems to be moving a bit slower for you as this spike in your adrenaline kind of hits, but as it's only temporary, it subsides somewhat, and you just feel this. You look in your veins, and where there's typically that blue, you just see a momentary like flash of orange as it courses around. And I think that is a great time for us to start saying goodbye. So thank you all so much for joining us on this episode of Frozen Rain. Of course, big shout out to Laurie O'Connell, who of course wrote Sleeping Above a Frozen Crown and has provided plenty of fantastic material that we are working with to make this possible. But before I get into anything that I'm personally doing, I want to give the fantastic people, including if I could resummon a Leona back onto interview. I'd love to get you all a chance to shout out the excellent work that you all do. Anything you'd like to let the people know you're going to be working on soon, and just anything you'd like to tell. Obviously, of course, who you're playing tonight as well. So I think starting with Foxy and then going to Leona, and then we'll back up to me to close it.
Sure. That sounds like the fine thing to do. Hi, friends. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite fox, Philly's finest. I can be found on Twitter sphere at Foxy Eternal, Foxxii, Eternal spelled the way it normally is. And I felt feelings tonight as Ragey. It is. Yeah, it's been a session, and I appreciate the people who are here and even people who are not here quite a whole lot for the things that they do and the way they make me feel things. Next place you'll see me on the internet is, oh god, I don't even know when. Tomorrow, probably, I think, over on Penny for a Tale. Next place you'll see me here is not until, I think, if not this Sunday, then next Wednesday for either Tiebreaker, All Black Everything, or With the Will. Either case, I'll be around. I've been Foxy. Y'all have been incredible, and get away from me. I'm not important anymore. Go.
Hey, Vermin.
It's me. I'm Legendary Vermin, and you can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which is, of course, Itch, Twitch, Twitter, and I suppose YouTube. Catch up with what I've done in the past on YouTube. Check out the games that I make on Itch. And of course, if you want to see more of me, you can always go to legendaryvermin.com/live to see my approximate streaming schedule. The next thing I am doing is With the Will, our third episode next Wednesday on July 27th. After that, next Friday, not this coming Friday, but next Friday, you can catch me for the spectacular miniseries Under Twilight Skies, where I am going to be playing a corpse among us yet again. Tonight, of course, though, I played Symbiosis as your local bubblicious wunderkind. She does all the work to try and make everyone the happy. Have I got something else in my brain? Keep an eye out for an announcement later this month or in August for a special upcoming campaign that I am going to be running right here on Lights Roleplay called The World Within You. It will be a Void Heart Symphony game. We are so excited about what we have cooking. It should be pretty fucking spectacular. That's it. You got it, Meg.
Hello, everybody. It is me, Meg Mysteria, and tonight I got the distinct pleasure of playing everyone's favorite bitch, Elena Victor. As far as where you can find me as Meg Mysteria on Twitch, on Twitter, on Itch. You can mostly find me lurking here in the Neon Lights Roleplay Discord, hanging out over on Lost Caravan. And as far as what's coming up for me, the next thing you'll probably see me in is the next episode for this Frozen Rain. We're taking a break for a couple months, but we are coming back strong in September, so keep an eye out for those announcements.
Ah, it broke.
What broke?
We lost Leona.
Oop, goodbye.
Keep rolling.
Yeah, keep it going.
Keep going. We'll keep it moving.
3 players,
Yeah,
go.
big projects are cooking up, and September will just be kicking it all off. But before we get too far, let's throw a shout out to Hoop, our favorite missing pilot for Dawn. Uh-oh. Am I gone?
Nope. You're good.
You just disappeared from the screen.
Oh. But, yeah, let's throw a shout out to Sir Hooper, who him and his wife had a baby earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he wasn't with us tonight. He was with them in the hospital, and we are very excited for him.
Absolutely. Super excited for Hoop, his wife, and their young Delilah, who
Delilah
future GM in the making, according to Hoop. So, of course, he works primarily with Lost Caravan. So be sure to check out Lost Caravan RPG when you get a chance. Until we get Leona back, I'll just say my short list of stuff. And if not, oh, hey,
Yep.
there we go.
Called it.
Just in time.
Switching over.
Well, let's hold for camera and
too
maybe
late.
unmute.
I already pressed the button.
No.
Okay.
All right. Yana,
Wait, what happened? Hi. Hi.
it's on you. What are you doing? Where are you? What's going on? Hold on.
Yeah, my apologies. Discord decided at that very moment that it was done with me. It's very hot in here. I think that's why. But hi, I'm Leanna. You can find me at Twitter at @TheLeannaMaple. That is the best place to find me, follow me, keep up with what on earth that is that I am doing. I am in a handful of the games that Foxy and Vermin mentioned. So wherever you can find these fine folks, you can probably find me. I have had the absolute honor of playing a little NPC from Rady's backstory that I never in a cajillion years thought was gonna like make a legiteral fucking cameo. I was literally this was like months and months ago that I was like, hey, what's your backstory like? Cool. Do you want a hand like figuring out your backstory? I happen to make an NPC. Apparently sometimes that NPC just comes to life and gets to have her moment on stream, and this was absolutely fucking wild. So thank you to all of this team for letting me have this opportunity, especially Meg and Turk for coming up with this diabolical thing and facilitating it.
My vengeance will be swift and brutal.
I'm just saying, we really should be thanking Foxy for this opportunity, who threw all of us in a group DM and then left it.
I did do that.
True. You kind of put yourself in this position.
I asked to be broken, so thank you.
And I think we
You're
achieved
welcome.
it.
Just know that my vengeance will be swift and brutal. Vermin, you are not innocent in this. Swift
Uh,
and brutal.
But yes, so I have been a little character, a little NPC from Reiji's backstory. One Janaya Arman, who Reiji, once upon a time, saved her life, and as a result, she got to go and do things to make the galaxy a slightly better place for people like him. And she's been wondering where he's been. And that's who she is. So thank y'all for having me.
All right. So with that coming to me, hey everybody, I am Turk or TurkAccented on Twitch and Twitter. If you want to see more of me and the things I do, first off, thank you so much. Second off, you should check out all the other people you see on your screen because they do a lot more cool, dope shit than I do at the moment. So for me, it should be pretty light and easy breezy. You can of course find me not this next Sunday, but the Sunday afterwards with Lost Caravan playing in their Lancer campaign, where Hoop makes us feel things like a real stickler. How dare he? I know. But of course, beyond that, we will be scheduling the next episode of Frozen Rain for August, so stay tuned for that. And then, additionally, I can now officially announce that on August 15th, I'll be over on Nat 20 running the next iteration of the department. So sit tight for all the casting craziness of that, because I gotta throw that together. I say throw it together. I have a fucking thing planned in my GM brain. I just gotta, find people to spook. So, if you want to jump over to that community, maybe have a chance to be spooked. Because that will, of course, keep going on. And of course, beyond that, there's a lot of really great and awesome things you can do out in the world today. You should go and find one and go do it. There are people who need help, and it's your duty as a member of this community and a Lancer pilot in the making to go make the world a better place, you beautiful, beautiful people. So, till then, signing off. Go forth and do great things.
One more quick thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to make a point to shout out. If you've been following anything to do with Frozen Rain on Twitter over the last week and a half, we commissioned a bunch of lovely art that you will see throughout this campaign from our good friend Grandirex AWD. Jung is somebody I know in real life, and just have the absolute pleasure to know somebody who's so good at drawing mechs. You should check out all of our Twitters. Check out the Neon Lights Twitter. He drew 4 incredible robots for this series, and we are so lucky to get to show them to you, both in big detail and in goofy little chibi form. If you want to see more of that art, you can hang out on the Neon Lights Roleplay servers, and we will happily trot out our little friends anytime for you.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm moving it around as Foxy's also moving around the screen capture.
I was trying to get you to stop.
I stopped. But like I said, thank you all so much for joining us. You make this just as much a fun and cool thing to do as we do. So I hope you can join us next time. Peace out.
Stick around for
Stay
our raid and our
frosty.
outros.
Absolutely.
Okay, bye.